Hey guys, it's Honester Nighttime. As some of you may know, I'm a bit low on Resident Evil 9 Requiem as a whole. The game's solid, but it has flaws, and the cracks start to show on repeat playthroughs especially. However, there's one section that I think is so awesome, and that I never get bored of, and that's the introductory Renwood Leon segment.
Talk to me. Is this one like the others?
Well, the same black blotches.
And it's not post-mortem lividity.
No. No, this is different. That's 6 now. 6 survivors of Raccoon City, all dead from the same thing.
I was thinking of the reason as to why I enjoy it so much. Is it the return of Leon, the graphic fidelity, and music? I realize that this segment captures such a unique atmosphere that's present in Batman or the Arkham games, for example. Rainy City? Check. Broody protagonist? Check. Creepy villain that causes a mass casualty event? Check. What I want is a full-fledged Resident Evil detective style game. RE already has the parts to do it. They've had now 30 years of experience making games with complicated puzzles, interesting environments, campy villains, and more. It would be the perfect match. Many of the games start with an air of mystery and investigation anyway. In the original Resident Evil, the STARS team were sent to the Arklay Mountains to investigate bizarre murders and disappearances. In Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Ethan ventured into the Louisiana bayou to find his missing wife Mia. Or even here in RE9, Grace was sent to the Renwood Hotel to investigate murders taking place at the same site of her mother's death. The thing is though, in RE games, these investigations are usually used at the start to propel the main character into an unimaginable crazy situation, and then dropped instead of truly being the center focus. Sure, as you play you discover more and there's twists along the way, but what if it was the main driving force? More reminiscent of games such as LA Noire, The Sinking City, or Alan Try to Stay Awake 2, which side note, I know it has a cult following but I can't stand that boring pretentious ass game, but that's a topic for a different day. A game where there's mystery and problem solving etched into every scene? I think it would appeal to fans of survival horror, but I don't think it necessarily has to leave out more action oriented fans either. I know Resident Evil has had quite an identity crisis over its run, the main debates being on whether to stay true to its roots of inventory management claustrophobic survival horror, or fast paced set piece action horror, as well as what perspective should be used, fixed cameras, over the shoulder third person, or the newly introduced first person. As hotly opinionated and contested these topics are, in my opinion, it isn't just one or two of these things that make Resident Evil, but the whole collection. I think it's awesome that over the course of the series, Capcom hasn't been afraid to try new things, even if they're a bit wackier out there. I don't want them playing it safe to appease shareholders. I don't want the Capcom that was rumored to have cut a lot of Village's intro section due to the feedback of Resident Evil 7 being too scary for a horror game. Let them go balls to the walls and allow them to make unique games with personality. So here's my pitch. Make a Resident Evil game that is set in a new city. The games have been mostly in remote locations. I believe a living city or a small town environment is a great opportunity to introduce a different setting in the RE-verse. This will also give Capcom a chance to, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but make an open world game if they have the passion for it. It was revealed that early development for RE9 was initially going to be an open world multiplayer game. And while I don't want a multiplayer Resident Evil, I think an open or semi-open world for RE could work. The elephant in the room is that Leon's detonator section in the Requiem sucked and was by consensus the worst part of the game. But I'd argue it had more to do with the boring set pieces and lack of enemy variety than the actual open world aspect. Resident Evil has always been great with environmental design, but this could elevate the storytelling to a whole new level. Imagine walking through the city, investigating and talking to NPCs, building a relationship with them. Then, as the game goes on, some of them start being killed off, and instead of brushing deaths to the side, let's add weight to each death. Make it personal. Being able to walk through crime scenes or the greater city to find clues and come to a conclusion would lead to a satisfying experience. The games have been taking a more grounded and dark approach recently, so this would be in line. You can also have combat encounters with infected or humans, which I know people aren't a huge fan of, but I think if they made it like townspeople or a cult or a gang, it'd be more fitting than soldiers. My only concern is that Capcom needs to make the narrative in this game a home run. RE games, I'd argue, are more known for their gameplay instead of their stories. Even if the lore is built up after all these years, there's been a lot of discussion recently on being disappointed, with like the lack of returning characters, or even character assassinations, such as Joe with Resident Evil 3 Remake or now Oswald Lee Spencer. But it's not just a struggle with the protagonists either, but the villains too. There hasn't been a main series big bad since Wesker because at the end of each game, you end up killing them off instead of developing them. This is my opinion, but I feel like they're better with crafting isolated stories each game than trying to tie everything together in the series. That's why the overall narrative feels all over the place, and I'm sure fans can see it too. Take RE6 for example, and admittedly I haven't played it yet, but I heard many times that there was too many campaigns in that game and a lack of focus. In this case, I believe that they'd have to dial in the compelling, intimate storyline without too much extra going on. After the end of Requiem, it's stated that with Elpis, bioweapons no longer exist. It's implied that due to all these countries losing their assets, the whole world is now plunged in chaos and there's anarchy. Remember what I said earlier about how the intro was reminiscent of Batman? Now if that doesn't sound like the perfect stage for a Resident Evil game, I don't know what is. So yeah, that's my pitch for a detective style Resident Evil game. I feel like it'd really fit in with the series and it'd be a game that would be so kick-ass and that I'd enjoy. To be honest, I haven't played all Resident Evil games, so if there's like a spin-off that has this type of gameplay, please let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know if this is a type of game that you'd enjoy as well, or you'd more comfortable with the traditional action or survival horror. Comment down below your thoughts, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'm a small channel and I make a lot of horror related content. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.